Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful day. My name is James Goss. You're watching Escaping the Neon channel. Basically, started this channel a while ago when I had a 9-to-5 job. I was working manual labor, and what I'm trying to do here is basically just show people, the entrepreneurial lifestyle and the way that I was able to get out of my 9-to-5, and now just the way that my businesses are growing and the way things are going. And I'm also doing just, some hopefully helpful tutorials. Today I'm going to do just like a simple tutorial. And, well, you're actually going to have to bear with me because I'm going to have to add a window capture in here. Okay, great. Window capture is there. So let me close these things real quickly. And I'm going to show you guys. Okay. So I'm going to do this with my state, and then we're going to just pick a random state. So I'm going to put that up on the screen. Okay, so basically what we're going to be doing today, as you probably could tell from the description, is we're going to be looking at some government, available bids. So there's a couple words that you're going to want to keep in mind here if you're trying to get into the government side of things. You'll be blown away, like really no matter what industry you're in. So personally, for this particular company, it's called American Exteriors. We are a general contractor. We do commercial restoration. So we basically, general contracting is like a form of construction contractor, right? So we're doing repairs to buildings that are already in existence. We're not building new buildings. We're doing repairs. And that's our bread and butter, at least for this particular company. But there is literally a huge amount of different jobs that governments are required by law to post. And, they can't just, it's no longer just a good old boys club where, governments can just pick their favorite two contractors or their favorite two suppliers for this and that, and then just give them the project. Basically, every state and every local government is now forced to put everything online and do an open bidding process. So if you're not aware of that, really, really keep that in mind because it's definitely a really valuable piece of knowledge. And if you're not doing the bidding process, I really hope that this video is going to help you. So what we're going to do today, we're based out of Virginia actually, but we do work in DC, Maryland, Virginia. And the one that I primarily use is going to be Maryland's online bidding portal. So again, I talked about a couple words you're going to want to keep in mind here when you're searching for these government bids. So a lot of times, most states will, and I can't guarantee every 50 state, but I basically can like 99% sure guarantee you that your state has an online bidding portal. But the key words that you want to do when you're Google searching is going to be procurement or government procurement or, government bidding or open bids, something like that. And so like even in my state, for example, most, if not all potential government bids are on eMaryland Marketplace, which is what they call their, that's their online bidding system is eMaryland Marketplace. But then a lot of times you'll see a posting and then you have to go to like the specific county's website and then go to their procurement division of that county. And then, put your, find the actual bid documents that way. But again, it's super easy to find your states. We'll just do for a state right now. Let's just say we're looking for Vermont. Let's say Vermont Procurement. Okay, so first thing, Vermont Procurement, Offices of Purchasing and Contracting. So let's go here. Let's see if we can find, so here we go, e-procurement at VT buys. What is e-procurement? So basically this is going to be your bidding website, I believe. So what you're looking for when you get to like this is going to be open contracts or open bids, something like that. So let's see, contracts statewide, and a lot of times they're required to put, they're required to put bids that they've already closed, so bids they've already chosen a provider for, and then also open bids. So haven't exactly found what we're looking for here. but I know that it's on here. And again, you know, for your state, it's going to be a little different. It's always a little bit different for each state and each county, but it's pretty freaking similar. So let's just search open bids. Okay, so there's a couple things. These are all real estate related, and that might work for you. But let's see here. So purchasing and contracting, a lot of the times is, you know, their purchasing department. So VT, so e-procurement home. What is e-procurement? Want to receive the so this is where we need to be, but we need to do like, okay, so there's something. So we now know that the service is called it's the Office of Procurement and Contracting, and their system is called VT Buys. So just like my state is e-Maryland Marketplace, let's just search VT Buys and see what we get. Okay, so here we go, bid information. So let's see what we got. Okay, here we go. So Office of Procurement and Contracting current bid listings. That's exactly what we're looking for. And let's just take a look at the variety of work that is on this website. So you've got, you know, kayaks, you've got janitors, paddle boards, election ballots. Looks like they want a lot of boats in Vermont. Janitorial services, brine tanks, virtual net metered solar power, non-clinical staff, truck cabin chassis, adult protective services, workforce development. So you see, I mean, there's a huge variety of different types of work. Basically every single industry. I mean, for the most part, obviously, you know, use your own thoughts here depending on your industry, but for the most part, you know, even like, you know, food industries, like, you know, I've seen stuff for like fresh produce, canned produce, you know, cooked meals, you know, all type of stuff. Like, the government wants a ton of different things, and here's how you access it through these bidding websites. So let's do this again. Let's do it for another state if we can. Let's say Kentucky, open bids, and then we'll just say procurement. We'll just put some keywords in here. So here we go. Government procurement, onestop.ky.gov. Kentucky one-stop business portal. Maryland also has a one-stop business portal as well. And that's not how you get to e-Maryland Marketplace. So let's see if we're on the right track for Kentucky. So here's a link here, state rated blah blah blah, or your e-procurement website. So let's go here. Okay, so this you may have to register beforehand, but it's called eMars vendor self-serve. So let's just Google search now eMars. For some reason, governments are just terrible at making websites. And it's just like, you know, kind of obnoxious to find what you're looking for. Like there should be a link to it right there. But let's see if this will. Because a lot of times they'll act like, so, okay, here we go right here. Welcome to the self-service portal. So a lot of times before you actually sign in, you can, you know, you can look at any solicitation. That's another keyword there. Solicitations, that means like, you know, they're looking for a price on something, or they're looking for jobs. So as you can see here, it wants you to sign in, but also you can use guest access and it will show you open solicitation. So before you like go sign up through their system, you know, you can basically, you know, see what type of jobs they are looking for. So there we go. And, you know, obviously a little different for each state as you saw, but it's pretty similar. And same goes for like any counties, you know, whatever municipalities, whatever, you know, however your state does it. But again, like this is mandated that they have to post their jobs. Like, you know, there's like a certain dollar amount threshold that they have to post, but it's very low. And they're, you know, they're trying to prevent the good old boy network of like, hey, just call James. He's our contractor. Call him to do everything, and then I get every job. They don't want that. They want to take the lowest possible price. So a couple things to keep in mind with this government contracting. Number one, again, basically every industry you can find something that you can bid on. Number two, you do have to be somewhat, now depending on what you're bidding on, you have to, you know, be somewhat of an established company. Of course, you're going to need insurance. Like, you're going to need to have your business license. You're going to need to have, be a legitimate business. You can't be a fly by night, like, type of organization, because they are going to check into it because this is a government. So kind of on that same topic of like having everything in order, potentially just depending on the size of the job, references and that type of stuff. But another thing to keep in mind is this is a very, very paperwork heavy endeavor to get yourself into, because a lot of these jobs for even like it doesn't matter if the project is $400,000, $1 million, or if the project is like $1,200, it's still like a mountain of paperwork. And it's not the same for every single job. I've done like, jobs where they're keeping it simple and it's like a 4-page thing. You fax over a few things, you're good to go. But then I've also done ones like, for example, our Department of Transportation in Maryland. Their bidding process is so in-depth and like truly overwhelming. There's so many things that they need that I don't even bid on those projects anymore, because it's just like so many hoops to jump through. And so our Maryland Department of General Services, there's still a huge bid packet that you have to put in. But I'm willing to take the time and do that because, even though it's a lot of work, it's still relatively straightforward. With the Department of Transportation, I've found, I've tried 2 of their bids, and I mean, it's just an enormous stack of paper that you need to send in. Really hard to keep track of and stay organized with. So I shy away from this. So you might find, it's gonna vary from each department, and who you're working with. Now, keep in mind, when I say government projects, I'm talking about, Maryland Department of General Services, Department of Transportation. You've also got public schools, and sometimes you'll have like, universities and all that type of stuff. So it's not just like, federal government. It's not just like, okay, we're going to be working at like, local state buildings. There is a ton of public entities that fall under this requirement to post on sites like this. There's also a couple other things to keep in mind. A lot of these government sites they're leaning heavily towards a small business aspect. So basically, your proposal will get a little bit more weight versus someone who isn't a registered small business. And chances are you fit the description of small business if you're watching this video. But anyway, so look into that. And there's a bunch of other things as well, like minority-owned businesses. If you're a minority, those are all things that will work in your favor in government contracting, and they give your proposal a little bit more weight and a little bit more value than others. So it's something to look it up and, kind of see where you can get an advantage over your, competition. And speaking of competition, I've seen, like, in my particular industry, again, the general contracting, I would say we get anywhere from like 4 to like 16 bids. And kind of the nice thing about the government stuff is they have to post the other prices that they got. So even if you don't win the bid, they show you exactly, they give you a spreadsheet of the price that everybody entered into, so you can kind of see like, oh shit, I was $1,000 off of getting this job, or like, hey, I was way out of line. Like, there's no way I was getting that. My price is way too high, so either I can't compete in that, with that type of job, or I need to lower my price and work on something, or you bid something improperly and didn't understand the task. So let's talk a little bit about like actually getting these jobs. So typically what you'll see, and I'll jump on to eMaryland just because I'm familiar with that a little bit. So our system used to be called eMaryland Marketplace, so I actually always search that, but now it's actually called Emma. But it doesn't really matter. So let's see here. We're going to go to Emma, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go. So it wants me to sign in, and it's probably going to ask you to sign in too. But what you can always do is, most of the time, I can't say always, but mostly you can say public solicitations or whatever, public open bids, something like that. Keep those keywords in mind: procurement, solicitation, open bids, that type of stuff. So when you're searching for this, those are the words you're looking for. Those are the hot button words that you're like, okay, this is where I need to be. So let's take, so here's the open bids for my state right now. Let me scroll through here, acting like I would, like I would when I'm looking for us personally. So you can search at the top here. I find it to be extremely, it doesn't work for me.
You can find things, but a lot of times, like if you search keywords, you have to type the keyword exactly, or like just a lot of times there's bids that you would be willing to put prices on, but they don't show up with like a keyword search. So what I do is I check our state's public solicitation website roughly 2 to 3 times a week, and I keep just a brief eye on it. So once you've gone through the first time and seen like, hey, is there anything I want to bid on, then you check it, and it only takes you 15-30 seconds to check. Okay, we've got 6 new bids posted today through Maryland, and one of them I may be interested in. Today I've already checked, there wasn't really anything I was interested in, but there's an older bid on here somewhere that came back up, and I'll go ahead and like show you that. So let's say here, this is something at least building a facility construction maintenance services, so that's something I would definitely click. So let's go ahead and check this out. So here's our summary. This is pretty simple. Work involves removal of existing superstructure, portion of the existing substructure, fabrication, delivery, installation of a fabricated pedestrian steel truss bridge with an impressed current, whatever that is. Installation of fabricated. So they basically want a bridge. So here they've given you their projected cost. So DBE participation. In Maryland, and your state might have a different word for it, but DBE is another one of those, that's disadvantaged business enterprise. So they have a wide definition of disadvantaged business enterprise, but minority is one of them, women is one of them. They give you a lot of reasons that you're disadvantaged. And that's totally separate from our minority-owned business program. That's our MBE program. They also have a SBA program, which is small business, And so again, they're going to give your proposal a little bit more weight and a little bit more value than others if you are willing to jump through the hoops of registering yourself as a DBE, or the SBA thing. The small business was very easy. Doing the minority-owned and the disadvantaged. I went through that. It was a huge struggle. If you're wondering, my boss is a black guy. I'm not applying as a minority, but he certainly can. And we try to go through the process. And I was like, dude, can't I just send a picture of you? But no, it's like a huge process, and it's a whole thing. So we haven't got that done yet, but there is people that certainly do, and it's beneficial for them. Sorry to go on that tangent here. So here's your final. So IFB, that's invitation to bid, or invitation for bid. So we're just going to open this. I don't really want to download it. So you'll see. So look at this. We have 743 pages. Now I feel like a lot of times it's like people just click it and they're just like super overwhelmed and like, well, how the hell? Like, what am I going to do with 743 pages? How am I going to find what I'm looking for? So sometimes you can actually search within the document, and there probably is still a way to search within the document, but really all we're looking for, and if you're just trying to see if this is something that you're interested in, the first thing that I always do is I just find the scope of work. So even though they give you like a really brief scope of work, it's still, I want to dive a little bit deeper into exactly what they're looking for, and that's what I would do. So I would find somewhere in here, I'll find the scope of work, and typically it will say at the beginning, like what page. I don't know why they don't just put the damn scope of work like right off the bat, but they don't really care. So keep that in mind. They definitely don't give a damn about making it easier on anybody to get their work. So this is something that's important. So with most of these government things, there's going to be what's called a pre-bid. You may or may not know what they are, but now a lot of times they're virtual, but you definitely want to keep this in mind. And a lot of times, like, if I come across a project that I've missed a pre-bid for, like for example, this one, pre-bid conference at 10 a.m. Tuesday, December 14th. So I've missed that. But this is virtual, which is nice. But anyway, those are very helpful. They help you get questions out. And a lot of times, well, maybe not a lot of times, but often it's mandatory to attend that pre-bid, and if you didn't attend the pre-bid, then they won't let you bid on the actual project. And then other times, even if it's not mandatory to attend the pre-bid, if you haven't attended the pre-bid, you basically missed the bid, because It's really good to be at those pre-bids. A lot of times they'll give you a little bit more information than they have in the packet, or you'll be able to glean off of some comment that they've said or something like that. But anyway, so you can see what I'm saying here, that this is a huge freaking document, really hard to go through, and like scroll like this, especially while I'm on a video here. But somewhere in here is the freaking, so here's your DBE. Oh, okay, so you know what, this is MDOT, this is Department of Transportation, and this is what I was talking about before, how they give you this monster packet of things to deal with. So this is an example of something I would not be bidding on, because they are such a pain in the ass. But so you see, here's a ton of the stuff that they put, blah blah blah. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, because this is like, basically as soon as I saw MDOT, I would be like, no thank you, because it's just too much to go through for us. So let's go back here. But anyway, so I mean, you get the general idea, and I'm not going to go through it with with another one, but you get the general idea. So really what you're looking for is the scope of work, and then if it's something you want to bid on, try your damnedest to go to the pre-bid, because you can get a good bit of information out of a pre-bid. And then basically your next step is, typically in these bid documents, there's going to be a submittal of proposal or whatever, and they'll tell you exactly, like, step by step how they want you to submit your proposal. And a lot of times, like, this is really just a matter of, like, can this person follow instructions, because they give you like needless hoops to jump through. It's like, oh, you must, turn in 2 paper copies. One must be stapled, one must be paper clipped. You must also, in a, double sealed, hand signed envelope, send in a flash drive with your proposal along with the paper copies. One copy must be in color, the other can be black and white. It's that type of, so it's like little piddly shit like that they'll, kick your bid out for if you don't like really, really read what you're supposed to do and do it properly. They'll just toss your bid out. Because again, you really got to keep in mind, 99% of the time, they don't care. They don't give a damn if you get the work or not. They're just going to give it to the contractor with the lowest price, or the company with the lowest price that has done what they asked them to do. So make sure you follow exactly what they ask you to do to a T. There's no such thing as like, can I get an extra day on this bid? Nothing like that. They're not allowed to do it. But this is a lucrative thing to be in, and it's lucrative to check this every day. And find more, like, look in other states, look in other counties, check out these public solicitations, because they are valuable. If you're willing to jump through hoops. So I hope that was beneficial. This is really how I do it. And a lot of times, like, I know a lot of people in a lot of different industries, so I scroll through here and I'll send a couple of bids to, people that I know that are like in HVAC, for example, or like, carpeting, or like, food services, that type of stuff. And I'll send it to friends that, like, might want to put a price on this job or whatever. So something to keep in mind as well. But anyway, so I really hope that this was beneficial for you, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, you're absolutely more than welcome to reach out to me and ask them, and I'll help you in any way that I can. But again, this is how I do it. And it's pretty, you'll get the general idea as you kind of go into it, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick tutorial about like how to find it, and you can basically follow that process to find any state's, online bidding process. So again, if you have any questions, I'll do my best to try and help you. But a lot of things are industry specific and business specific and state specific. But if you have general questions on kind of the bidding process, or, anything else, give me a shout. If you found value in this, or if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. I'm trying to get this content out and help more people. So that really helps. So anyway, thank you so much for your time. I genuinely appreciate it, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.